Shout out to 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪 is my main B.
If I got one thing right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is 𝓬𝓤𝓤 and welcome back to my channel, or 2 if you are new. And today we have my November wrap-up. I read a total of 11 books this month, which actually is so shocking to me because I feel like I haven't been reading as much. I'm very excited about the books that I read, so without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Shout out to 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, my main B. I would not be able to read 11 books this month because I mentally couldn't without her. She's a G. Okay, let's get into the books that I read in November. Okay, so the first book that I read in November was gifted to me by my good friend Mare, and that is The Elite by Kiera Cass. I rated this one 3 stars. It was not as good as the first one for me. Maybe I'm kind of losing interest in the series because I read the first one right in the beginning of quarantine. I just didn't pick up the rest of the series. So I finally read this one and it just wasn't as good. It wasn't hitting like I thought it would. America has been kind of annoying in this one. America was a little bit annoying in here. Maxon was super annoying in here. And Aspen is just filling the space, literally. I don't know. Wasn't that interested. Love you, Mare, so much though for this book. Love you. But I love you and I'm very grateful. Thank you. And then I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This was for my Reading Colleen Hoover for the First Time vlog, so check that out if you haven't already. This one was so good. I gave it 5 stars. It's about this girl named Lily, and it's low-key like a love triangle. Her father just died. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler. It happens right away. Her father died, just moved to Boston, and she meets this guy there. While you're following the relationship with Lily and the new guy, you're also looking at high school Lily with her ex-boyfriend, ex-lover, ex-something. I don't know. So it's low-key a love triangle. It's super good though. There are trigger warnings for domestic abuse, all that. I really love this though. It hit close to home and I really felt like I was Lily. I really felt connected to her, so this one was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. And then I read Verity for the Colleen Hoover vlog. I gave this one 5 stars. This is definitely one of my favorites of the entire year. It's like a thriller, it's like a romantic suspense. I don't really know how to classify it, but it's about this girl named Lowen. She's a struggling writer, author, been having writer's block. She had to take care of her mom, and she just hasn't been getting work done. So her manager found a job for her. It was to finish a series for a very popular author named Verity, where Verity is stuck in a coma. She couldn't finish the series off for herself. So she goes to live in this house with Verity's husband and Verity's son. Also, there's a little bit of a spooky element. Scared the literal crap out of me because Verity and her husband, they just lost their 2 daughters, and then Verity got into an accident herself, and it was just really spooky because as Lowen was writing this story, finishing this story for Verity, things would move in the house, things didn't seem as right. And also while she was writing it, I came across Verity's autobiography type of book where tons of secrets are revealed about Verity, and Verity is not who she seems to be. So I really liked it. 5 stars. One of my favorites of the entire year. I am so excited to read 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪 sounds like it might be a little bit similar to Verity, so I mean, I'll take it because I really, really loved it. And the last book that I read for Colleen Hoover for that vlog was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Reagan was begging me to read this and I didn't like it. This is her favorite and it really upset me. I gave this one 3 stars. It just wasn't good to me. It felt really, I think it's because I read It Ends With Us, and It Ends With Us was a little bit more on the women's fiction-y side, and then I read Verity, which is full-on thriller with romance in it. This was just a really basic romance, and I wasn't enjoying it as much, so I gave this one 3 stars. Definitely check out my vlog if you are more interested in my thoughts. For the Colleen Hoover vlog, I read Playing With Fire by 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓲𝓪. I really like this book. As you guys know, I've read most of 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓲's books, and she is an amazing writer. She's one of my favorites, but recently she has been missing the mark for me, so I was kind of nervous going into Playing With Fire. It took me so long to read, but when I finally read it, I really enjoyed it. It's a college new adult romance about this girl, and she was the it girl. She had tons of friends, she had a boyfriend, she was very popular, and that all changed when her house caught on fire when she was younger, and she's now a burn victim. She has burns on her face and on her body, and she has spent her whole life after that just trying to hide, covering herself with makeup, wearing baseball caps, never talking to anyone but her best friend. And she also works at a taco truck. And so when the campus bad boy starts to work at the taco truck too, they kind of develop a friendship. It's really, really cute. It's really, really sweet. I loved it. I gave this one 5 stars. And after playing with fire, I read Anxious People by Fredrick for my reading Enneagram 4 books. I love this book. I was very skeptical, but I loved it. It was so good. It felt like a self-help book for 4s. I'm not going to talk about this one too much just because I have like a whole vlog out for this and another book. So, but just know I gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. So good. Loved it. And then for that same vlog, I read Atheists Who Kneel and Pray by Tarryn Fisher. Oh my gosh. I have never read a romance book like this, and it was truly such an experience. It was so much fun. I literally exactly like the main character, so I felt like I was reading about myself, and I had so much fun reading it. Definitely check out Reagan's recommendation video for all the Enneagrams and see if you like the books that she picks out for your Enneagram. I love the ones that she picked out for 4, so definitely do that if you haven't already. And also I will have my vlog up in the cards. And then guys, I don't know what got into me. I think it was my girl 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓪𝓵. She told me it was time, but I have been seeing Maiden Steel, this book right here, so much recently, just like in the ads on Goodreads, on Amazon. I was like, you know what, let me check this, like what is this about? And so I found the whole series on audio on 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓪, and I just binged it all this past weekend. Literally, I finished the last one last night, and oh my gosh, I wouldn't say the writing is the best, but they're just a lot of fun. There's so many mysteries in there. There's so much suspense. There's a lot of things that you don't know, and you're following this girl's life. Oh wait, let me explain what it's about first. So this book is about this girl named Summer, and when she was young, her parents died, which led her to move in with her grandma. And then shortly after, her grandma died, and then that left her bouncing around foster home after foster home. She ended up in a really abusive household, and she couldn't leave it, and nobody would adopt her. So that's where she kind of ended up. But as she was bouncing from foster home to foster home, she was in touch with her childhood best friend, Miles. He was the boy next door. She would sneak over and visit him a lot. They were just really cute friends. So finally Summer escapes this bad man, and she has to go under the witness protection program where she has to start college in New York, has to have a different name. Her name is now Sadie, and she does not expect her RA for her floor to be Miles. It is so good, guys. There's so many secrets, so much mystery. I saw on Goodreads a lot of people didn't like it. I saw lots of 1 stars, but I really enjoyed it. So let me know if you've read it. If you have 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓪, definitely listen to it. It's a 3-book series, and honest, it was just so fun. Like, I loved it. And the last book that I read in November was the Prodig by 𝓵𝓐𝓬 Hale. I started this one, I think like October 2nd. I've been reading this for almost 2 months just because I wasn't really interested in picking it up, but I finally finished it last night and I gave it 3 stars. I really did enjoy it, but overall it felt mediocre. It's about this really famous conductor, composer, and he one day was walking down the street and he saw this young girl about 8 years old playing the cello, just begging for money on the street, and he was shocked to hear her talent. So he asked her like, hey, where do you live? And so he takes her home and sees that her living environment was just not it. He didn't want her to live there. Also, he wanted to start training her because he saw so much potential in her. So he basically raises her. I know this one is a little bit of a touchy subject. There's a lot of tropes in here that I enjoy, but I know lots of people wouldn't enjoy them, so definitely check them out. But it was definitely interesting. It was a little bit weird, but he raised her, and when she turned 17, which is pretty disturbing, it's illegal actually, he starts to develop an attraction towards her. And I know a lot of people think it's grooming. I really don't know. I don't know. But I enjoyed it, but overall it was just super mediocre to me. So yeah, 3 stars for that one. I definitely want to read more from 𝓵𝓐𝓬 Hale though. I found this book from Tamika's video, Library of Tomes, and I like had to read it because it sounded good. She loves this one, but it just wasn't that great for me. So yeah, that wraps up all of the books that I read in November. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. It truly helps me out. Down below I'll have my Instagram link, Goodreads link, Twitter link. All my links will be down below, as well as my Amazon wish list. So check that out if you are interested, if that interests you. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You truly mean the world to me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
thing right, it was you and